if I had a thesis and someone read it, I would be like, not bad.
Yeah.
I would be embarrassed. Don't read my fucking thesis, dude.
Why not?
My thesis is probably anything I've written. I've just done the bare minimum. Well, okay, what I perceive as the bare minimum, and then I'm just like, okay, calling it a day. This is good enough. Cool, let's move on. But then I'll read it again. I'll be like, okay, this is fine. But I don't want anybody to read it. I don't want anyone to read my work. I don't want anyone to look at anything I've created or anything. Don't look at me.
Don't look at me. Stop perceiving me.
Oh my god.
Look at me.
I'm looking.
No, don't look. Stop. They're all looking. Stop perceiving me.
This is exactly what I expected a VTuber class to be. Stop perceiving me.
Stop perceiving
Our
me.
whole job is to be
I mean,
perceived,
I know.
and yet
In real
none
life,
of us are
any-
capable of being perceived. We all panic.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's
That's
hard to
me
be
like
perceived.
in real life. Oh my god. Dude, the worst is if I'm like dancing or like doing something like vibing with my friends and then I see somebody looking at me and then I like my body functions are just like I don't want to move anymore.
Yeah, it's surreal.
I can't move my body anymore.
I just go
Dude,
out
that's
with
just
my,
my
like,
life.
really extroverted friends, and then all the intention is on them, and I just get to like be a, you know, I just get to watch. I just get to watch as they're like, hee hee hee, life of the party, and I'm like, yeah, that's my friend right there. I feel
That's my
proud of
friend.
them. That's my friend right there. Hee hee.
I'm with them, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't really have many moments where I tense up. Maybe for like a brief moment
It's
if
'cause
I'm
you
like
are that
debating
friend.
something. Oh, but that makes
You are the
sense.
friend that's like walking in and being like, hey, what's up, everybody? And then you like make friends and stuff. And then I'm like, it's all good because I'm with Bo, so I don't have to do
Aw.
anything.
That makes me really happy to hear.
Yeah.
I'm weird
Aw.
because I want to be the extroverted one, but like I get scared if people are perceiving me. So I'm like, hey, and then everybody looks at me and I'm like, never mind.
Hey, look away.
Look away. Like actually
Stop.
look away right now. Stop it.
Yeah, I never really had an issue with eyes being on me. I did in
We
middle
know.
school, but I grew out of it.
Wow, Ellie.
It is really cool though. Like I am genuinely very inspired by the way that you kind of just are like ready to hang and you're not worried about it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I just I
built
guess
different.
it's I don't know if I'm built different. I think I'm just I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think theater instilled something in me where I'm like, well, I guess if I fuck up, oh well, right? Because it's like in a weird way, I kind of look at it like fate, where I'm like, I guess it would have happened anyways. So it's like like nothing you can do about it. Might as well move on, right? So if I make a fool of myself, I kind of just go, well, that happens, and then you just move on, versus thinking about it past that
So
point. I don't know.
alien to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so happy for you that that you
Oh, I
have
know.
that mentality. It's really good. And that seems
Hmm.
really healthy to have that mentality. I wish I had that. It's funny that you're like, I think maybe it's because I was in theater, because I was in theater too. But
Oh yeah. I always forget that.
it did not have the same effect. It was
Yeah,
interesting.
I think it's a pretty common I definitely feel like I am an outlier in the idea of like that approach to it. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm not saying that as like theater, put that in me per se. I don't know where it came from. I don't know. I've always had the idea of wanting to perform for people, like in a weird way, or make people like laugh to some degree, and I've never been.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I told Minnie, like when I was a kid, I used to beat myself up on the playground to make people laugh. Like
Yeah.
I used to go the
That's so
extra mile for things.
sad.
So like maybe it came from that. Maybe it came from like I was like, oh look, I made a fool of myself. Oops, I've tripped, kind of thing. And now I'm just like, well, now it's like applied to this in a way.
I'm glad you don't. I hope you don't like still beat yourself up on.
Well, I don't go to a playground anymore, so I think I'm okay.
Oh, phew. Good.
Yeah. Now that was like elementary. Basically, is when I did that. I would get in trouble for it. I would like hit myself basically to make someone laugh if they were crying, which that is the way it is when you're young. I didn't know better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I never did anything like that. I guess okay, so my mindset for like wanting to be more outgoing is like I've always been very like social, like I want to do that stuff, but I've just been too like shy, like I didn't want the attention. So
Yeah.
but after like I kind of went through a sucky situation, my mindset has kind of shifted to like life is too short to like be worried about and like regret not doing some things. Like being scared to dance in public with my friends just because I don't want people looking at me. So I've been working to try to get over the fear of it because I don't want the fear to hold me back from having a good time on the short life that we have. So that's kind of
so
where my
good.
mindset goes.
Oh my god, I love
No, that's
that.
good.
That's really sweet. I think
Yeah.
like one thing that helped me was that like I was really socially anxious and I felt like if a conversation wasn't working out, it's my fault, right? But then on some level I was like, why is it my responsibility to be like the person who's keeping this conversation going?
Yeah.
I deserve somebody who also wants to speak to me. You know, if this person doesn't put any effort into speaking to me, then maybe they're not worth my time. Like maybe they aren't worth my time versus the other way around, you know? And so I think that helped a bit. Also, I was like, now I'm like, hee, I have such lovely friends that, you know, like talking to me and I like talking to them. So surely I can't be that bad. Dude,
Yeah.
I communicate with other people.
I don't know if this like resonates for you, but I feel like the advice I was always given was like, don't be desperate, right? Like you gotta act like you don't care that much if they're your friend. You gotta stop being so desperate. But like you can't do that until you actually aren't desperate. Like for me, like of course I was desperate for friends. I didn't have any. And now that I'm not, I move through the world with so much confidence and poise because I'm like, I have the best friends in the world and it literally doesn't matter if anyone doesn't like me because I have them. And now I'm like, well, now I'm much more appealing as a friend, but I couldn't have possibly like summoned this back then. Like that was impossible. Like people always tell people like, oh, you need to have confidence. But confidence, I think, largely comes from having the kinds of experiences that make you feel confident, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's really difficult to kind of like I don't know, especially if you're making new friends, you don't have a lot of friends. I remember when I switched to a different like high school, I had a lot of friends before, but I no longer had them anymore. I like moved and everything was different. And so I was like, it's fine. I'm just going to sit here and let someone approach me. Oh wait, I've said this before where I'm like, I'm just sitting there reading a book and I'm staring.
Yeah.
And then immediately Rumimi was like, hey.
Hey. Well, not immediately, but like
Within 10 seconds, the clock started
I did
ticking.
manifest it. I'm always like, I'm gonna manifest friendships as much as I can. I'm just gonna think really hard that eventually we'll be friends and it'll happen.
Yeah, that's like a mindset like I like a lot is like I think faking that you don't need friends is an energy that like is very hard. Like you said, Ellie, to do. Like that's kind of an impossible energy to come up with. What I did when I was kind of in that situation maybe like last year, like over a year ago, is like I more so wanted to fake personal confidence, like thinking thoughts like that I did deserve friendship, like you said, Shumi, or like, you know, stuff more along the lines of that, like that I did deserve friendship and that I was cool and that I didn't have to change and that I could just be myself going into a friendship, and like it shouldn't be a question of do they like me, but more of a question like do I like them, like do I vibe with them, you know?
Yeah.
And like when I started doing that, then I feel like people were kind of more inclined to want to be friends with me because like I was just being myself and I was unapologetically being myself.
Yeah.
And I was manifesting the friendships. Like Shubi's, I was sitting there with a book.
Yeah.
Also,
And also, I feel like when you're unapologetically yourself, you actually end up making more friends because, you know, instead of holding yourself back, you find people who are like, hey, this is my like brand of weird or like this is exactly the kind of person that I would want to hang out with. But like when we're so self-conscious about how we portray ourselves, it feels harder to actually like meet the people that we want to meet and like
I was
hang out
always
with, you know?
so scared of anyone disliking me, of alienating anyone. But I feel like when you do that, you make yourself really unapproachable and kind of unappealing. Like, I had this friend, I don't even know if I would call her a friend. She's very good, and she deserves good things. And she's come a long way now, but she was not in a good place then. And she was in some ways the first person I'd ever been friends with, but it's a shaky definition. I did her homework. She would make me tie her shoes. She would literally just be like, Ellie, tie my shoes, just like in the middle of the hallway. And it was like the first thing that I'd really had that was like even close to a friend. And I spent years clinging to this, even though she obviously did not like me, because I was like, but if I didn't have her, I wouldn't have any friends. And my sister was like, you don't have any friends because you are clinging to a very weird person who makes you tie her shoes. No one's gonna be like, ooh, who's that girl tying that girl's shoes? I want to be her friend. Okay, please someone say something. You're stressing me out.
I'm sorry, I zoned out. I'm disassociating right now. I got confused.
I was thinking, I was like, maybe I would be like, I want to be friends with that person. They seem cool and like deserving of better friends than someone who makes them
Chuckle
tie
Boy,
their
thank you so
shoes.
much for 10 gifted. Oh
I
my
would
god.
probably do something similar
Thank you.
to me. Like, I would feel kind of bad seeing that, and I would just kind of step in like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, like I've had friends where I kind of understand the vibes. A friend I've had, when I was younger, they, it was like convenient to hang out with them, and they seemed to like me and like hang out with me and stuff. But they would kind of, how do I describe this? Like
Chocolate,
they would hang
thank
out
you.
with other people, and they would always kind of make me the butt of the joke. And that was kind of like it was like haha friends, but if anyone's expendable or like if we need somebody to like run through the mud to grab this thing, I don't want to do it. I don't want any of my like good friends to do it, so I'm gonna get Shoomimi to do it.
Yeah.
Little things like that. Those aren't really your friends. Yeah, a friend of convenience, or just like this is someone who like they tolerate me and I'm lonely, so I'm cool with sticking with them. But eventually, when you like stop hanging out with them, you like set your boundaries. You do feel better eventually. And also I think it's still not a good experience to have, but it's good now to know that that is not friendship,
And just
Like
like
how to recognize it.
being
Yeah,
alone is
exactly.
nicer. Like you kind of, when you're in that for a long time, you forget how good being alone can feel. But I had this whole fear of like, then I would have no one to sit with again and I would have to sit alone again. But like, oh my god, sitting alone is awesome sometimes. Go sit in the library, get some work done. That's so much better than, that nightmare, right?
100%.
I sat
Yeah, I
alone
agree.
today.
It's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah. I was running errands and I just stopped for food and just sat by myself and ate it. It was nice.
Mm-hmm. Contemplative.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot. My brain was like this.